Welcome back to Chris's Habs Corner, guys. We're going to be going over the Sean Monohan deal today that went down, and then we're going to be going over all the major news that has been circulating around the league and social media about the Habs trying to move up with their 5th pick in the draft. So let's get right into it, guys. Alright, so earlier today, Sean Monohan signed that 1-year, $1.985 million deal until the end of the 2023-2024 season with Montreal. And a few things really stand out to me about this, right? One, that's a really good sign that his foot is healed enough for him to be in the lineup again. We all know what went down in Calgary last season. He played on that broken foot, returning to Calgary, and ended up being injured to the point where he did not return for the rest of the season. So he is healthy enough to be in the lineup again. That is a good sign, as well as Kent Hughes at the right place of mind, understanding that we could still follow the same path that we were trying to follow last season with him and flipping that pick at the deadline. We're able to move him at the deadline if we're not in a playoff spot or contending for a playoff spot, which in all likelihood we probably won't be. And probably, if depending on how his season goes, we might be able to convert him into a first-round pick. Who knows? So that's, good curiosity to have to find out what happens with that. And then I think that overall, just another year or, majority of a season with his locker room presence in this young core, his presence on the ice with guys like Slavkovsky, and a lot of the younger prospects that we have as well is going to be nothing but positivity. I think that Slavkovsky last year actually did play with Monohan for a portion of the season and had some pretty good chemistry with him. I think Monahan's a guy that's really good in the face-off dots, going to help us out there, help us out defensively. He's an overall really steady playmaker who can just dish the puck out at certain areas at the right times. He always seems to know what he's doing with the puck, right? And I think that overall, he's just a rock-steady, stable centerman. That's going to be good to have around for another season. Again, last year, 6 goals, 11 assists, 17 points in 24 games. It's not bad for a middle six guy. So Ken Hughes was in the right place of mind to add him again. Like I had said, it was either him or Dvorak that was probably going to be sticking around for another season. Now that Monohan is inked up for another year, and Dvorak still has 2 years left on his deal, now we can actually potentially question whether or not, Dvorak is really going to be moved maybe as part of the trade deadline or in an off-season deal, because realistically now it is going to be hard to rotate Dvorak or Evans even into the lineup. If you draft the center at the draft and they're ready, if you do get PLD, all these. So brings up a few questions now as to what's going to happen with guys like Dvorak or possibly even Jake Evans going into the offseason, right? Anyways, let's move on now to the major news that has kind of been circulating around for the past week about the Habs, and Kent Hughes specifically, picking up the phone, making calls around to Anaheim and San Jose, trying to move up from that 5th position in the draft, right? So let's kind of get into the first major rumor of Kent Hughes talking with Anaheim's management, trying to get that 2nd overall pick for Adam Fantilli. And the deal supposedly is structured as such. Anaheim is asking for the 5th, the 31st, Kirby Dach, and a lower tier prospect, lower tier to their standards, meaning Caden Cooley, Jordan Harris, guys as such, or the 5th, 31st, moving Josh Anderson, and then moving a prospect as in Uri Slavkovsky, the former 1st overall, right? And what screamed out to me was just an instant gut reaction of no, we don't do any of this. I think either way, it's asking way too much to give up both draft picks in the 1st round this year. Again, I know it's the 2nd round pick. I know it's Fantilli. And then, to sacrifice a prospect like Caden Gooley or Jordan Harris when we have such a stable defensive gel and such a stable presence on the back end building up right now. I don't really appeal to that too much. And also, I don't like. I understand Anderson's a big trade target. Um, he is going to be tried to be moved at some point, possibly by Ken Hughes this summer. But to package that with Uri Slafkovsky, who we drafted first overall, and we really don't completely know his ceiling yet. He is going to take some time, right? He is only 18, 19 years old. We don't know what his complete potential is yet, and arguably we didn't really go about it the right way with Slafkovsky last season. I don't like moving him either, I think I'd much rather wait and see the potential that Uri Slafkovsky has. I know there is no other Adam Fantilli in the draft, right? Or there is ever going to be another Adam Fantilli. He's that special of a player. But I feel like that's just way too much of a risk to give up right there, guys. And then the other major rumor circulating around with this fifth pick is the San Jose deal. Ken Hughes has been on the phone with management of the San Jose Sharks this past week, trying to move up to that fourth position, and basically for the idea of not taking Mitch Cobb at fifth if he's available, and really going after Carlson or Smith. Smith, as we know, an elite playmaking centerman, just the brains to really truly just be a high elite playmaker. And then Carlson, just an overall exceptional playmaker who's big as well and can use his body as well as his skills, puck skills to make plays, and just really has an insane hockey IQ. Both insanely talented players in similar ways, but yet different ways, and both would have gone probably number one overall in a lot of other draft years, right? My thought on that is, why not just go and stick with taking Michkov, and if not, why not go for Leonard or Benson? You see, Leonard or Benson would have been easily a number 5 pick in most other draft years, right? Ryan Leonard, kind of a guy that's like Zach Hyman of the Edmonton Oilers, just tenacious along the boards. He really complements two highly skilled players like McDavid and Draisaitl, and freeing up pucks for them and creating space for them. And having the scoring touch as well to complement with that, and the playmaking touch as well. Leonard is a very similar player to that. He gets in and around the net. He knows how to score around the net, stay close to the net, make high 30 plays around the net, right? Smith, a guy that, Benson, a guy that has really elite hockey IQ and hockey playmaking abilities. You could just make it happen all over the offensive zone. Why not just go for one of them instead, instead of risking the 5th, the 31st, and possibly a prospect to move up one spot. I understand the Habs and Ken Hughes, there's been a lot of rumors circulating that they're not interested in Michkov. But if you're not interested in Michkov, I would much rather just take Benson or Leonard, guys, any day of the week. I think this is just a little bit silly, and it's kind of just wasting time, to be honest. I don't really see the necessity for that. And I think that overall, like I've been saying in my prior videos, why not just take what's on your plate at the 5th pick? This is a draft that you're like no other. The top 5 picks are all number 1 picks any other season, right? And if we just take what's on your plate, I think down the road you're really going to appreciate the value of what you picked in this draft. With that 31st pick, I'll get into this in another episode. There is a lot of potential, and there's been a lot of trade rumors involving teams like Vancouver, Washington, Pittsburgh, Edmonton, Philadelphia, all these different rumors of what to do with the 31st pick and where to move it. There is a potential to try to convert that into a higher pick in this draft. And that is a much more reasonable option, not involving the 5th pick at all. There are much more reasonable ways to get mid-round picks, mid-number picks in the first round. So next episode I'll be diving into that, guys. Again, Sean Monahan, 1 year, $1.985 million inked today. Love the deal. We just went over quickly, the couple of options the Habs are trying to move up in the first round with their 5th pick are. I think both of them are just a little bit over the top and trying to do too much. So let me know what you guys think about that. Please like and subscribe to the channel, and I will talk to you guys next time. Go Habs, go.